we're rolling hot and everything right now.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
So this week we are in Dave's new lab, the Beat Lab, huh?
Beat Laboratory, man. Yep.
Dave recently stepped up his game significantly, went out and bought the big dog 27-inch iMac. That's this year's, huh?
Yeah, brand spanking
No joke.
new, man.
Got a PreSonus interface. You went a little cheap on the interface, but that's okay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, dude, all the way.
I mean, Gear Talk is something we haven't really done a whole lot of, and granted, we may not have a lot of gearheads out there, but there are a lot of people who are interested in podcasting. I think, maybe.
Yeah, I would say so, and just the equipment it takes to actually get rolling.
Right.
Because this is our 4th episode.
Number 4, yeah.
Okay.
Numero cuatro.
So, I mean, we've learned a lot in the 4 weeks we've been doing it.
Certainly.
You know? So, I would say, yeah, I mean, we can talk about that. It's interesting.
Well, I mean...
Considering I'm actually setting up 4 podcasts.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you have a studio, like a nice studio with, like, all the good stuff.
Yep.
So, you're, like, ready to roll 24/7.
Yep.
And me, I was like, I had to kind of, well, like you said, step up the game a little bit.
I mean, as far as, the biggest part of a studio or any recording process is the computer, and you certainly didn't hold back whatsoever on your computer. I mean, that's, what is that, like $4,000?
Oh, no, dude. No way. That's
so
insane.
It's not like the big dog iMac. I mean, it's 27-inch, but it's not the...
It's not maxed out.
Right, okay.
No,
Gotcha.
no.
Yep.
No way. Not even close. For podcasting, you could easily just get away with the base iMac. I think it's like $1,000.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
$899 or whatever it is.
But if you're going to go big and you're really going to get into something like this, and I mean, you're a musician as well. So, and a creative individual, you have video equipment and all of that. So certainly, I mean, you're definitely going to get your money's worth out of it, I would assume.
Yeah. And I've been trying to get into, I kind of have a YouTube channel for my fishing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've really this summer been getting into learning how to film with a GoPro.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. How to vlog.
Yep.
I don't. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. But with this computer setup, it's the baseline 27-inch.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So with AppleCare, I think it's a good piece of equipment. I hope
it will be.
For editing. GoPro footage and recording.
Yeah.
I don't see multi-track recording beyond the two of us. I had a coworker who she just got into a theater school, an arts school in Chicago.
Okay.
I don't think it's just theater. It's like a school for the arts or whatever. It's a college. Anyway, and so she needs some, she wants to audition for a few of the groups, the vocal groups.
Oh, yeah.
So she needs to put together a little like demo.
Yep.
So she asked me if I would be willing to record her with a keyboard player.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, sure, actually I can do that,
Absolutely.
And that's cool to say that because I love recording. I love helping people out.
Yep.
She's going to an awesome school in Chicago for like music.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, if I have the opportunity, sure.
Definitely.
So
it'd be fun too.
Yeah. A keyboard and a vocalist and,
yep.
Yeah, I'm not a producer by any means or a recording engineer, but I know enough to do that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the thing is sometimes, I mean, nowadays the big thing before is to be an engineer, to be a producer, you needed to know more than just navigating a computer. You had to learn analog equipment, circuitry.
Dude, for sure.
Really, I mean, you had to be a pretty amazing individual, and but what I'm saying is, technology has leveled the game.
Yes,
and made creative people have more access to that because it was always the creative people were the artists in the studio, and the engineers and the producers were rather dorky, maybe not producers, but engineers for the most part. Were just button pushers, and they understood the equipment really well. So now this dawning of this new age of computers and
Mobile recording.
Mobile recording
um,
has leveled the playing field between musicians and engineers. It's incredible. So, and you've got just a small interface with 2 inputs, and I mean you have a really nice mic collection,
Yes,
which is really weird.
I kind of had this. I went on this spree of buying recording equipment when I first moved back here. 'Cause
Yeah,
I thought I
remember that.
because I thought I was going to be into music big time.
Yep.
And I was going to start like recording my own music and writing my own songs. I was even actually trying to seriously actually sing, which that's not my thing.
Oh,
But I was actually considering and trying
yeah.
to the point where I'd bought like a mic mechanic pedal
Yeah.
by
TC Electronics.
TC Electronics, thank you. And it literally just helps a very below average voice like mine, or average maybe at best. And just kind of it gives you an opportunity to actually be decent,
Yeah.
because it auto corrects your vocal, but not so much that you sound like a robot.
Yeah.
It gets you, say you're half a note, you're like a half under the note. It just, that even a couple cents extra makes you sound like a pretty okay singer.
Yep.
And then it's basically a sound guy in a tiny little 9-volt box.
Yeah.
And
Did you sell that?
No, I still have it.
You still have it.
So I bought one of those because that's how serious I was about singing out, because I couldn't find a band.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than Wolves and Company.
Yeah.
But that was an anomaly, dude.
There's an edit for you. Are you going to edit the podcast too? You're going to do all that?
I can.
You should. Just
All right.
take a stab at it. See where it goes.
I will. That's cool. I will.
As far as the interface, or not the interface, the DAW, the digital audio workstation you're using is GarageBand, which I'm pretty blown away. I mean, I can't really. The last version of GarageBand I played with is from like 3 or 4 OS versions ago, so it looked more like a toy. Now we're looking at, GarageBand is looking more like Logic or Pro Tools. It looks more serious, and
The cool thing was, and then it's free.
yeah,
It just comes with even iMovie. I was gonna buy
Final Cut.
Final Cut.
Dude, don't.
I know. I don't need to.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Okay, to somebody who really is really into it and does it professionally, probably makes money doing it.
Yep.
Or even like is aspiring to make money doing it.
Yep.
They've got Final Cut.
Yeah.
And that's the way it goes.
Yep.
Guy like me, I can edit a decent video on iMovie. It's free.
right.
So I don't know. I think people who are thinking about vlogging, podcasting, whatever, I'm literally new. 4 or 5, like a summer into vlogging, 4 weeks into podcasting.
Right.
And I can tell you that the free stuff will get you by.
Absolutely. Well,
Free programs. I mean,
I'll tell you what, though, there's a huge difference, though, between the free software that comes on your Mac and the free software that comes on the Windows OS. You can't you can't use it. It's garbage. But that's part of why you pay more for an Apple, because this is very usable software.
You're right.
This is really nice.
They do market to that niche, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
And they have the pro versions, the Final Cut, or
Yep, absolutely.
Logic to GarageBand or any of those things. But
The best part is I don't have to leave my house.
exactly,
to get it.
yeah, for sure. Well, you don't have to anyways. The other music
dude,
software
you can
nowadays, you can
download-
buy it on iTunes. That's what I did.
You can buy Logic on iTunes.
Buy it on
bro.
iTunes.
You don't leave your house.
$200.
300 now, I think.
Is it really?
Maybe that's Final Cut.
Final Cut might be 3. I
Yeah.
think Logic is still around 2, maybe $299. Maybe it is 3.
Yeah.
Anyhow, there isn't much to it, and a lot of the podcasts, not a lot, but some of the podcasts I listen to are very crude. I mean, it's literally one guy with a microphone passing it back and forth, and that's fine, because it's the content that matters. But
Yes.
when you can listen to the content effortlessly and not have to sit and think, what did he just say? When you can actually hear the way people say things and inflections in their voice, and you don't have to mess with the radio or anything. To me, that's the difference between a really good podcast, because you can kind of you can just relax and not think about like the noises and stuff that you hear. So
Right.
I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, right out of the gate with our show, I mean, we are starting off at a huge advantage compared to most people
Sure.
who start out podcasting. I mean, you and I both have experience being behind a microphone,
In a recording setting.
being in recording studios, understanding what this stuff is. And so that's a huge advantage to us compared to other podcasters starting out. And I'm excited because I don't know how much better you can really do as far as gear. We get a couple SM7Bs. Right now we're actually using a set of ribbon mics. I mean, we have
A paired stereo.
Yeah.
A stereo paired, or however you say that, ribbon mics from
Yeah.
Cascade.
Yeah.
Actually, they have
Yeah.
the Lundahl transformer in it and everything.
Yeah, dude. That's a sick setup. I mean, those ribbons sound great. I mean, I don't know. I was reading an article somebody was writing about podcasting the other day, and it was this argument, this debate between the Shure SM7B, which is a big broadcast microphone. You know what it is because
Yeah.
you own one. But they're a large broadcast microphone with a huge foam cover over the capsule that keeps. But anyways, this is kind of like the industry standard mic is the 7B, the SM7B. So there's this debate on whether, and a lot of podcasters also prefer just a Shure SM7 with a windscreen, or SM57 with a windscreen in front of
serious?
it. Yeah. Yeah. So there's this
Weird.
debate, this conversation. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Dave has an SM7B. I have a pile of SM57s. And on top of that, we have ribbon mics to pick from. And
We could try that right now. We could do a side by side. We could throw up some 57s like right now and just do an A/B thing.
let's say that for another week when we can really get heavy into gear talk.
Sure.
We need, maybe get a couple of gearheads on the show, and we can.
Yeah.
I would love to do comparisons between mics, guitars.
Oh my gosh,
do a
dude.
side by side blindfold test, Epiphone versus Gibson versus if you can tell the difference, and that'd be fun. That'd be a cool little rabbit hole to go down. We'll have to think about that for another episode.
Can you drink beer on YouTube?
Yeah, I think so. What if they say you can't put up your video? You just don't
dude,
put
let's
it up.
take it down.
That's the thing too. That's kind of an interesting topic. Something I think about a lot. Go ahead if you got one.
Just because it's actually specific to us. One of my GoPro videos, my fishing videos, I got a notice that I was using copyrighted audio,
What were you using?
music. It was song. It was a song.
What was the song?
Just something I got off of the GoPro editing software, because I edited that video on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
And so their Splice, it's called, their GoPro video editing program app, you get on your device. It was just a song they had available. So I'm like, well, these have to be okay to use, right?
Yeah.
So I throw it on my YouTube, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this notice? This is crazy. And so it was basically they in like a sort of a message form, like an email-ish type thing. They were like, if you can keep this song, you can keep playing this song, but you will get no like royalties, like profits from this whole video, or you can take it off, and then you can make
Sure.
you can make monetary gains on it again, and they have the power to do that, which was crazy because I'm like, it was part of the free. You can dispute it
Yeah.
because I'm sure it was like some sort of a bot or something, or somehow they just I'm sure they have people it's probably not even people searching that out. I doubt they ran across my video and were like, oh, flag. I'm assuming there's like bots or whatever that they have that
Algorithms.
algorithms
If they
and
know,
all
it's
that.
just like that thing's on your phone. What's that one where that app where you can hold it up and listen to a song and
Oh, Shazam.
Shazam. Yeah, I mean, if your stupid phone can do
Right.
that, I mean, YouTube has algorithms that'll notice anything.
Yeah, you're right. So, well, not a big deal. Totally non
Right.
aggressive or anything like that. It was just like, oh, all right. So I actually just took the song off the video because I'm like, I doubt I'm going to make money off of that video because it's
Yep.
got like 20 views,
Yep.
maybe 12. I don't even know. Definitely no more than 20. And, but even with such a low viewed video, it still got flagged. So I think copywriting when you're putting it out is extremely important and something you need to, definitely consider.
You need to understand it. You
Yeah.
need to understand the law.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, and the next thing I was going to jump at next is just that
Yeah.
very thing. Using copyrighted material, legalities that are involved in putting content out there. I mean, there's any number of things.
Sure.
And I like to compare it to this. My mom, her whole life, has been talking about starting a bakery and how much she loves to bake. And when I ask, like, why aren't you doing it? The response is usually, well, I need a commercial kitchen. I need commercial tools and all of this. And I need to be licensed and make sure I have make sure all my ducks are in a row so I can't get sued if somebody has a bad piece of cake. So, but I'm like, man, the only thing that's been stopping you for the last 30 years from starting a bakery is you're concerned about the legalities involved. So there's a line with like, how much isn't, when I think about music and the creative process or any of this podcasting, whatever, I'm not concerned in the least bit. If I'm putting out content and my content gets popular enough for somebody to care that I used a copywritten song, then I'll deal with it. Or
Well, it doesn't even have to be popular. That's the thing. Like my video.
That's an interesting point, and that's something I didn't think of. Is that
Yeah.
YouTube will not allow you to get
Yes.
popular if you're going to screw around with other people's material.
Right.
Yeah. So it's something to think about, and I guess you don't know until you're there. You found out because you tried to put that content out, so you know how picky it is. I've never run into any roadblocks, so I say keep pushing until they stop you.
Sure.
And then figure out a way around it or some other way.
Yeah.
On the last few episodes, I've posted music at the beginning and the end of the episodes, and we've been fortunate enough that we know a lot of musicians and artists, so everything that's been played, I have permission. I got permission from Paul to play their music, and the other band was yours, and one of them was mine. So there's permission granted.
That's totally different. I think.
Right.
I think that's maybe what we originally talked about doing is just using material from
Exactly, people we know, and
people we know.
that's the cool thing is you can plug artists and things like that. One thing I was upset about is there's a local band here from Wausau that I really like, but I don't know them personally. And I messaged him on Facebook and asked if we could use one of their songs to post at the beginning or end of one of our podcasts. And they just flat out did not respond. No response.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Did they see it?
Yeah, of course they did.
Okay.
I just think that's kind of weird.
Were they mad at you or something?
No.
Oh.
No, I've never met these dudes. They just,
Maybe that's why.
yeah. But
Because you get a lot of weird stuff like friend requests and weird requests. You ever try to sell something on like Facebook Marketplace, dude?
oh, yeah.
Like,
I haven't, actually.
okay, every time I've done that, you literally get people with fake profiles and whether they're bots or whatever I don't know, and they make you like offers and they try to make excuses and they like talk to you like a human would.
I never considered that.
Yeah, and it happens to me almost every time I sell something on Marketplace.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
So you
they
gotta be-
think I'm a bot. Maybe I ought to hit them up again.
Maybe. Be like, no, I'm a real guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just down with, okay, if we can't use copywritten content, fine. I mean, there's plenty of local talent and things like that that we can draw from, that we can pick from. That's, I'd like to be able to at least highlight something local every podcast, or, at least say something. I mean, last week we talked about
Sawmill Brewing.
brewery.
Company.
Yeah. Which I don't know. Listening back, I don't think I even said Sawmill Brewery once.
Yeah, you did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I wanted to make it clear this week that we were talking about Sawmill Brewery. We were drinking their beer. But there's plenty of local good stuff here to Central Wisconsin.
Well, right now, which isn't really Central Wisconsin, we're drinking
Leinie's.
Leinenkugels.
Yeah.
Summer.
I thought it was
What is it?
Northern
Ale something.
lager. Was it lager?
Yeah, something. Northwoods Lager.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
No, I love this. This is good.
You like it. I think
Yep.
it's okay,
Yep.
personally.
Comparing this one to last week's beer, this is way less stingy. Like there isn't that like I don't know, boozy aftertaste. Or this is real like mellow. This is nice. I like this. Leinie's, right?
Yep, Leinenkugels. Yep. They're at Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Well, the original. I think they're owned by Miller or something now. But
Yep.
whatever. I mean, they still manufacture beer there.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's a quick edit for all you new podcast vloggers that people are like us. My first recording opportunity on my computer with this program, GarageBand, it's counting in bars, not a timeline. I need to change the timeline because I don't know how long we've been going.
Oh yeah.
Because it's we're at bar 670 of this piece of, but I don't know what time that.
What time you
translates
got
to.
on there? 7:40 something.
7:47.
I think we got rolling about 20 after. So
Okay.
there's going to be a couple significant edits like this whole piece in here. You may not want to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you can do whatever the hell you want with your own podcast.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing is people would even appreciate hearing this, even if it doesn't make the final show. I do, anyways. When I hear,
I thought that was what we were doing this whole time and just letting it roll.
yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing, dude. We're just talking about what we're doing. This.
Yep.
I mean, I need to figure out how to get that time on there. Maybe I'll work on that later.
Back to local shit. What kind of stuff? What do you use a lot in your day-to-day life that's local? Aside from like groceries, do you have any products that you buy that are like manufactured or made in Central Wisconsin?
We drink Condor Coffee Company.
What's that? Where's that at?
I think they're in Weston now. I don't know. I mean, they're in
It's
the
like a
area.
Wassa thing.
Yeah, they
They roast.
They bring in they roast coffee.
Oh.
Yep. So they bring in, organic coffee from Mexico.
Yep.
And it's just called Organic Mexico.
Yep.
By Condor. And it's
they roast it a certain way.
Yeah. However
Yep.
they know how to do that. Yeah, to create, and they do their own custom blends, and
Yeah.
it's no more expensive than a bag of Starbucks. Maybe
Yep.
$1 or $2 more.
You know what's crazy is I got my feet into that at the coffee house in Merrill when we were just kids. She had a coffee roaster in there.
Oh,
and
sure.
She did the same thing. Ordered her coffee from Guatemala, Panama, all over the world.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and then she had a recipe book actually of like how long to roast each type of bean to get this desired effect, that one, this one. But then the roaster thing kind of went away, and then it was like, so it's cool to hear that there's a place around here that still roasts their own coffee.
Yeah, so I don't know how long they've been around. I would say for sure less than 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, not very long. But they have a little storefront now in Weston somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's Weston. You can just Google search it. But,
Yep.
just a neat little space, and they serve their coffee. Pretty cool.
So you guys buy their beans, their roasted beans, and bring them home?
Yep, we bring their beans, and then I grind them at the store because they have like one of them big old industrial grinders,
Yeah.
and you can set the coarseness.
Yep.
So I just empty the bean bag in there and then grind it and take it home.
Yeah.
Bag of beans.
If you're if anybody out there is a business owner, or you do something local here and you want us to try out your product, hit us up. Okay. What do we have an email yet? We don't have an email yet.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah. Ryan and Dave save the world at gmail.com.
That's another thing we haven't really talked about yet. We have a name.
Yeah. That
Name of-
was the reveal. There it was.
There it was. The big reveal.
What I just said.
Ryan and Dave Save the World podcast coming at you
In your
live.
face.
And
Live in
if
your
you were
face.
out there, plug them with the email one more time.
It's Ryan N.
And
Dave
Save.
saves the world at gmail.com.
So hit us up if you're out there and you got a product you want us to try out. And who knows, man?
Well, yeah.
Hit us up and we'll try out your product.
Shameless right there.
Dave's a fisherman. Dave does hair. You do lawn. Any products that would pertain to that. I like to drink beer. I like to hang out full time. So whatever you got, throw it at us. Audio enthusiasts. But yeah, it would be cool just to have something to talk about every week about some sort of local product. So we did the beers. We did, and that's really about it for local bands. Circus Fires is the band playing at the beginning and end of a couple of those podcasts there. And they're local to Madison, Wisconsin. And some of the other band, last week's episode on episode 3.
Yeah, whatever.
Was that last week's?
Yeah.
It was 3. We had Ready the Colors, which was Dave's band from Florida.
That was a techno remix.
That was so sick, though.
Yeah, dude. The guy who recorded and produced us,
Yeah.
he is like really big into like all of that stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
so sick, though.
But like he's super smart, like really, really smart, and
Sure.
he knows keyboard in and out and the theory of music in and out, and he can do literally anything. It's amazing. Joe Oscar.
It was an incredible remix.
Yeah, I think that's his last name, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that remix printed on your CD?
yeah, it's on there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was on there. And he did that all, and he's like a wizard. He DJs and stuff down there too, and he played our song one time. In the bar, and that was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote it, he produced it, it was whatever. But
Yep.
so I'm like dancing with all my friends, and all of a sudden that song drops, and you see a whole room of people dancing to your song.
That's
It's
crazy.
really weird.
Yep.
It's really weird.
So is he still a producer, or did he produce the whole record?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Produced, engineered the whole
I
record?
mean, Ready the Colors pretty much produced it.
And that's the band we're talking about is Ready the Colors. Kind of, I mean, it's not really a thing anymore unless you move back to Florida.
There's
Or
no
all
way.
you guys get
Joey's in
together.
Knoxville. I'm trying to get him to move up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Joey. He's the man. He was the guy who played
Yep.
bass.
Yep. I met him a handful of times.
Yeah, dude. He's just I'm selfishly, dude. I just really want him to move up here. He's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
Good guy. He would be awesome to have in the mix. Like,
Yeah.
And he's a solid dude, man. So I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. I try to get people I really love and like, dude. I try to get them to move where I live.
Yeah, man. I know a good story about a guy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ready the Colors was the old band. Dude, and I love that record. I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It was great. If I had to compare it to something, I don't really know. It could have, a lot of those songs could have easily been on the radio. They sounded very much like in the groove for that time. Like, who is that band? They did the Pumped Up Kicks song.
Yeah.
There was like several pop indie rock bands that were
happened
like
right then.
hot right
Yeah,
then.
Yep, you're right.
And you guys would have fit right into that because your singer what was his name?
Raul.
Dude, he was incredibly talented.
Yeah.
I mean, that he had an incredible voice, and the melodies he wrote were super catchy. So props to him. That was that whole record was awesome. I love that.
That relationship with him stems way back.
Yeah. That was a Masters Commission relationship.
Yeah. So oddly enough, when I was setting up the studio for tonight, I ran across an old picture of us that was when I first met him. Jeez, 2003.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah, 2003. And it's me and him, and we're just,
It's like 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago.
do the math. I don't know.
Anyways, sorry.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so I moved back to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And that's when Pocketbook started. And then I met Raul in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yep.
Where I went to a school because I thought I was going to be a youth pastor someday.
Yep.
And went to that school to like learn how to do that, basically. You know? And so that's how I met him, through a church band, a youth group praise and worship band. And he was just starting to learn how to play guitar and like singing, and I always knew he just always had that voice, that really unique voice. So he left and went to California. He got married, and to a girl, very Christian girl. I mean, they were in the church, dude. Like, they're really involved, and they end up getting divorced because she was making some claims, about him, that he was like verbally abusive or something like that. I don't know. Anybody who's listening to this who knows the real story, I'm sorry, I apologize, but I think that's pretty close to it.
They got divorced. Anyways.
They got divorced.
They must have been pretty young.
Yes, very young.
Yep.
And so
How young is very young?
He would have to have
18,
been
19?
No, 20s, early 20s.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Okay.
I would think.
Yeah.
And so the entire record, The Arrow, that Raul wrote, those are all his songs,
right,
were about that time frame. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Is your record still available on iTunes or Spotify?
It might be. I don't know. Of course, we are on all those, but I don't know.
Do a quick search. Not you, but anybody out there. If you're interested, the band is called Ready the Colors, and the album was The Arrow. It was like a 5 or 7 song EP.
6 song, and the 6th song was the techno remix.
Yeah, but super good. And if you're interested in like finding out about what we're talking about, you should check that out. It's good stuff. That was. When did you guys stop playing together? 2000 and...
Well, it was when...
Before you moved back, right before you moved back?
It was when we got pregnant with my oldest son.
Yeah. What year? 2010?
12.
2012. Okay, so...
14.
Right, okay.
Wait, hold on.
What year was your kid born, Dave?
2012.
Yeah?
I don't know.
That makes sense. Jack was born in 2010. Jack's 8.
Davy's going to be 6 in November.
Okay. So you guys were as recent as 2010. No, 2012 is what we said, right?
So, yeah, 2010.
So this isn't like really old stuff. And honestly, I think the sound, like the record could still be, if there was still such a thing as radio.
Sure.
But if you took that record and threw it back out on Spotify, and you could probably get hits on that thing for sure.
That's a really good idea. I've never thought about that.
This is the thing too, is like a lot of people, we're sitting on, between the two of us and Landy, we're sitting on probably 899 copies of the record that we saw. Why are we not just putting these on eBay? A bulk lot of CDs,
It's a great idea.
We should have our old band's records on Spotify and on iTunes and available for people to buy, because we own the content. We might as well just put it out there.
Of course. That's brilliant.
The same thing can be related to people being in bands, and like all of a sudden one day the band is like, that's it, we're breaking up. It's like, oh, this is our last show. This, like, dude, can't you just be like, we're just going to put this thing on hold. We'll probably come back to it one day, but the concept of a band broke up, like you could never play together again,
That sucks.
is a weird thing. Like, why couldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm getting Joey to move up here.
Yeah, get him up here.
No, Matt, the drummer, he's actually a missionary in like somewhere in Europe.
Yeah,
He's got a wife and
he
kid.
was a really talented drummer.
Matt, and that's another crazy story. He's a really cool dude. Real good guy from Minnesota. I met him in that school.
Where was
down in Fort
Where
Myers.
was Joey from?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so he was a Florida.
Yeah.
native.
He's a
Okay.
Florida kid.
There were so many people from the Midwest that you
Yes.
met down there, which is weird.
Tons. And that's not even just like within the school. It's like just people from the Midwest live in Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
And then everybody, and I had a bunch of friends on the East Coast of Florida, like Fort Lauderdale,
West Palm.
West Palm. Thank you.
Yep.
And those areas, it's all the Northeast people. So like Boston, New York. Totally different vibes on each coast. I mean, the ocean's very different, but the vibe is very different too.
Right. So what was I going to say? So, I mean, that was just kind of a long example of like, this local product thing. I
Sure.
mean, just in your old band, we have an hour's worth of cool stuff we could talk about. So just like anybody else, I mean, I think it would be cool to have a guy from, just an example, like somebody from Sawmill Brewery come and talk to us about how they made their beer, you know? And I think it tastes like this. Why do I think that? Oh, here's why. And it gives
some
me
really interesting questions.
give
that
me
everybody
some
probably
sort of
thinks, yeah.
intelligent answer, you know, and
Sure.
educate us and anybody who wants to listen to the show. So again, man, you got some stuff you want on the air, let us know at Ryan and Dave
Save the World.
at gmail.com.
You want to hear the reason I went with that?
Dude, go ahead.
Okay, so RyanAndDAVE.
Yeah.
See? So I just did RyanNDAVE.
You know what I would have done? Ryan and Dave save at gmail.com.
Ryan Dave save.
Ryan and Dave.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Ryan and Dave save. You don't need the world.
Got what do you? Yeah, do you have to?
I mean, that's the title.
That's the
of
name of the
title
show.
of
So
the
you
show.
should have that as your email, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of cool to have a little like.
Yeah, but it's
what's the
harder to
email?
remember.
Ryan and Dave save at Gmail. Oh yeah. You're doing fine. That was good. I'm glad that you did it because I sure as hell didn't go out and get an email address.
I had to create a Podbean account. I'm not plugging Podbean right now because we haven't used them yet, so we have
Yep.
no reviews to talk about.
Yeah, that's
But
another thing.
That's who I chose to go with.
Is the email live right now? People could email us.
Yeah.
If anybody has any good recommendations on like what is
Anything
just
with life.
the best way, anything in life,
Life in general.
or the best way to put your podcast on the internet, you know, specifically like iTunes and Stitcher and all the major.
Yeah, somebody who knows what they're doing, please chime in and tell us.
No kidding. Because I mean, I'm sure. I mean, the Podbean thing or the thing that the product you looked into, if it gets us on iTunes and it gets us on the
Yep.
internet, done. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what it does.
But maybe somebody has a really cool experience or something or with a product that they use to put their podcast online.
I mean,
Open
yeah.
to suggestions.
Yeah, I did Google review searches, obviously, and they always, I don't know,
Right.
they seem to have the best options.
Yep.
Anyways,
Well, dude, let's pack her in
yeah, good idea.
for
It's too late.
until next week. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Peace.
I know the only thing that makes you happy when fire lights are synchronizing.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ryan and Dave Save the World. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, support us with a subscription. That'd be fantastic. You can also email us, Ryan and Dave Save the World at gmail.com. Catch you on the flip side.